Hello, assalamu alaikum, and welcome back to El Sutra Essentials. My name is Belkisa Aliyu. I hope you are doing great today, and I hope everyone is doing good as I am doing great, alhamdulillah. So today's topic, we are going to be having a little bit of chit chat. It's been a little while since I did a sit down video, and I am here ready to do it for you guys. So without further ado, let's get into the reasons why I quit my job and I never went back to seeking for a job, and I started living my dream life. Let's start right now. Okay guys, so my first reason, the first thing that made me quit my job. Okay, let me give you a little bit of background. So as a student, after you graduated in the United States, you have 1 year to work to gain experience. So after my bachelor's degree, I decided not to use my 1 year, or I decided not to take a break because I can do it, and after my master's I can still have another year. But I decided not to take a break. I decided to pursue my master's degree, which I did. So it was after my master's degree that I was supposed to work for the 1 year, because that one has expired. I will not be having 2 years, I will be having only 1 year. So the 1 year, my work permit didn't come until after, I think, 5 or 6 months after application. That is how long it took for me to get my work permit, and I need my work permit for me in order for me to apply for a job. Okay, despite that, before that I was working when I was a student. You can actually work 20 hours a week as a student, but after you graduated, you are allowed to work full-time. That is 40 hours a week or more, depending on what you want. So my work permit came, and that was when we moved to Atlanta, Georgia from Kansas City, and I started looking for a job, which took forever. So the first reason, this was just the background. So the first reason why finding a job was so hard, and maybe due to my own insecurities or whatsoever. So the first thing is my religion. I used to be like a normal, regular young girl or a teenager, until after I got married, I realized, and I come to hold my marriage more tightly, and my religion. I came to understand that, okay, now I belong to only my husband. I don't want to shake people's hands. I don't like men. I mean men, because as Muslims, we are not supposed to shake other men. We are not supposed to have any contact with other men outside of our marriage, except if it is a close family, which is like father, a brother, or my uncle, or something like that. But anybody that can get married to a Muslimah, that can get married to you, is not your mahram. So you are not supposed to have any touchable contact with that person. So applying for jobs and going out for interviews was the beginning of my insecurities, my dilemmas, and my headache. Because this is the beginning of where, when I go to an interview, I met my interviewer to be a male person, and he wants to shake my hand, and I will tell them that I don't shake hands. So I felt like from that moment they already have an X on me, that okay, she's too religious, she's already wearing headscarf, she's not shaking, so that means maybe we are going to hire her, and she may end up being like, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do that. So I'm sure, like, from that beginning they have given me an X on the interview. I'll go for my interview, finishes, and come back, and a lot of interviews, no response, or no positive response, because mostly you get a response but a negative one, that, or they have decided to pursue with other clients. So finally I got a job at a place. It's called Square One. I can never forget that, because that was my first official job after school. So I got a job as a data entry personnel. I studied accounting as my first degree, and my second degree was master's in information systems. So I can do data entry for any company, because I can either do work as my bachelor's or as my master's. So I was doing data entry for this company, and each Friday, I am one of those people, one of those girls that always go to the masjid on Friday. And I will ask, the first week I asked my supervisor that I needed to go to the masjid. I'm going to use my lunch break. We have 30 minutes. Was it 30 minutes? I can't even remember how long it was, but I know I was very close to the masjid, so I told him that I was gonna go for the masjid. Instead of my break time, I'm not going to take a break, I'm going to go at the prayer time, because everyone goes to lunch at 12 and my prayer time was around 1:30, and I told him that I will be back by 2 p.m. So that was my 30-minute break. So, and he asked me, he was like, well, that was not the original time of everyone going for a break. Why do you need to go for a break at that time? And I told him that, yes, because I have a religious activities that happens on Friday that I need to go and attend during that period of time. That's why I needed a different lunch time. And he was like, so I hope this is not going to be a continuous thing. Is this a one-time thing? And I said, no, it is a continuous thing, because I am very straight and I cannot deny myself my religious right. It is my right to tell him whether he likes it or not. It is my lunch break time, but he was not happy about it. And it was one of those things that, you know, each time you're gonna go, you have to explain yourself, and people will be looking at you like, oh my God, like seriously. A lot of people doesn't even practice religion here in the country, and you are so persistent on doing all these things. So it's one of those things. And the third thing about religion was also like, there was a time I walked into an interview, and then I was at the reception. Every lady that came for the interview was either wearing short skirts or was, I mean, just the dressing mood was just something else, you know. Everyone was just trying to stand out. Everyone was just dressed up to look a certain way, you know, to look like an office setting looking person. And here I come, yes, I was wearing my blazer and everything, but I was wearing my hijab, and I just felt insecure, you know. I felt insecure that I'm going to go into the interview with all these girls dressing up like this, and I was the only different person. Why will they choose me, you know? That was the time that I actually walked out of the interview. I decided not to attend the interview after witnessing that. So that was the religious part. Okay, so the second problem why I gave up on job seeking, or why I quit my job because I was actually working at the time, was parenting. I had my baby during my master's degree, and she was about 8 months when I graduated. So when I finally got the job, I was working at that place, and I had to find a babysitter for my daughter because I have nobody in the country. And so it was really hard for me. I found a lady who does it at home, and she takes care of other children as well. So I decided to use her because she's an African lady, she's a mom as well, and she's a bit elderly. So I was more like, you know, relaxed and secure that, okay, my daughter is going to have a good time. She has other friends over there instead of going to the daycare where there's a lot of kids. So I started taking my daughter to her, and then there was one time I came to pick up my daughter, and it's only the kids and her children. So the lady has 2 boys, I think a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, if I'm not mistaken. And she led the children with her kids. She went out. So immediately I called her. I was like, where are you? I just met the kids by themselves. And she was like, oh yeah, I just stepped out to grab some grocery. And I was like, why didn't you send your kids to get the grocery instead of you going? Because you let the kids here, they are all by themselves. She was like, no, my children are there, they just came back from school. So at that point, I felt bad that why would she leave our kids that we gave her as a amana, you know, for her to take care of them? Why didn't she wait until we come back for her to do whatever, or send her own children? But she kept our children with her own teenagers. So I was like, okay, maybe it was just a mistake. I'm gonna talk to her the next day. The next day that I came, I was actually in a hurry to leave for the job. So I just gave her my daughter, I gave her her lunch and everything. I was like, okay, when I come back, I will just talk to her about it. And then that was the second day. I came back and she was not there. Again, she wasn't there. Her teenagers boys were there. They were actually just in their rooms playing games, but the kids were just in their living room, in the kitchen, and everywhere just playing by themselves. I did not feel secured that my daughter and the other children were just playing, because one of them can hurt another person. She was about to be 2 or 2 at the time. She was very little. She was literally a baby. I was like, what am I seeking for? What am I looking for in a job to leave my daughter to live in this kind of environment? And I just wasn't feeling it, you know, to take my daughter to daycare. First of all, is my job at the time was not paying much. If I have to take her to daycare, I will have to squeeze her dad to be paying for her daycare for me to go work. So what does it even matter that I'm working and I cannot even sustain a daycare for her? Secondly, is a lot of children there and they may not have good attention. I thought this lady, since she's just home, she's a stay-at-home mom and she has other kids, that she's going to put an eyes on them. But from that moment, I just gave up. I was like, okay, that was it. That's it. I'm done. I'm done with babysitting. I'm done taking my daughter anywhere. I'm going to take care of my daughter. Whatever I'm going to do in my life, I'm going to do it while I can take care of her, because it does not even make sense. So that was another negative factor that I was like, okay, I'm done. The next thing, or the number 3 item on the list, is controlling/using by employers. So after I was working as a data entry analytic there, I got another offer job, because I kept applying, because I thought data entry is just too little for someone that has master's degree. I wanted to work have more experience, have knowledge at hand. I wanted to do something accounting that I studied. So I got a referral. A family friend of ours knew a lady that runs a clinic, a psychiatric clinic, and she was looking for an office manager, and she was actually looking all the qualities that she needed. I have, because she needed someone with at least master's degree, she needed someone with payroll background, she needed someone that knows numbers, she needed a person that is outspoken and can do recruitment for her. To summarize the story, she hired me only for this lady to want me to run her clinic while she worked for the public hospital. So the only person I met there was the admin. She has an admin, a front desk person who does the scheduling of patients, who does phone calls, who get back to clients, stuff like that. But apart from that, then she hired nurses and therapists that deals with the clients, and she also comes when there is a matter that needed her attention. So for me, what my role was in the workplace, in the office, was I am the HR, which means I hire every single person that she needs to hire. I do interviews, even though she needed to be there for the interviews, but I have to schedule the interview and I have to be there. I have to, if she's looking for a nurse or she's looking for a therapist, I will be the one to write out everything that is needed on the requirement of the job. I will be the one to post it in all the posting places looking for that person. And I'll have to do the paperwork when that person is hired. I also do payroll. So payroll, I will have to pay everyone that works, which means I have to put in hours of every single person, including how much they are getting per hour and stuff like that. I have to make sure I have all the documents ready and everything. It's like it was too much. It was so overwhelming. Everything that I was doing there was things that I have dreamed of doing after I graduated as an officer, you know. But there was so much lot of work. Plus, the work doesn't bother me as much as she doesn't want to pay me as much as I deserve. So she hired me and said that okay, she's going to pay me for training for 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks then we can decide how much I'm going to get paid. So she was going to pay me $14 an hour for the first 2 weeks, and then we can decide after the first 2 weeks. I asked her if there is going to be a negotiation of my salary, and she was like, okay, just wait until you train a little bit more and blah blah blah. So well, I felt used, I will do the payroll, and then my money is way less than the other people that works there while I'm the office manager. And she will come back from the public hospital and she will start questioning me and the other lady about the entire day. What have you guys done? What have you achieved? This, there was so much stress, you know. And so plus this issue of my daughter at the daycare, that was one of the days that I went back to pick her up, that incident happened. So I was just like, okay, I'm done, because I cannot pay less than what I deserve. I cannot be taking less than what I deserve, and I cannot leave my daughter elsewhere while I'm trying to earn experience or I'm trying to make money. So I quit my job. I took my daughter back home, and that is where I started my catering business. That is where I started making flyers, sending out to people, to pass on to more people that I make food for a living. And that was when I started my food catering in Atlanta, Georgia. So fast forward, after moving to Canada, okay, I was gonna tell you guys something, but I forgot and I jumped into Canada. I was also scammed. After I came back, I started looking for a job to do at home, to do from home. I wanted to work from home so I can take care of my daughter and also earn money and have the experience. I found this job online that was too good to be true, and they said that everything, all the requirements, everything, we had interview on the phone, and everything was aligned. And they said that they're going to send me a check to go buy office equipment. They want me to buy a table, they want me to buy a computer, they want me to buy a printer, they want me to buy all sort of things they listed. And they sent me a check of about $5,000, guys. I showed it to my husband, and the lady kept calling that I should go and deposit it, so I can purchase, but I have to buy from their supplier. My husband was like, this is too good to be true. And that was when it started hitting me that I should do more background check about this company. I did background check about this company. This company exists. It is in Texas. The lady promised me that they are opening branch in Atlanta, Georgia. That's why they are hiring to do online. By the time they open an office, I'll be working in the office, blah, 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 blah. I did background check about the company. The company exists. Her name was Veronica. And I called the company. I did research about her name. She was the director of a certain department in the company. And I called the company asking about this particular lady, if she's real and everything. And the company confirmed that she's real, only for that lady to be using another lady's name, another person's name. And I said that I needed to talk to her, because everything that we did was on Google Meet. I just don't feel secured about depositing that money. Oh my goodness, guys, this is the beginning of that wahala. I was not able to speak to that lady, and the lady from the Google Meet kept calling and kept texting me to go and deposit the money. I called my bank. I asked them if incidences like that might happen, that I got a job online and they want me to deposit a check and they want me to buy goods from their suppliers. And the bank was not helpful at all. The bank was not helpful. So they were just asking me, they were just telling me that if I don't feel secured about it, that I shouldn't do it, because if the checks bounces at the end of the day, there was no money in the account, I would be the person to pay the check, and this could lead me to a legal problem. So I decided not to deposit the check until I speak to the lady. But she was still insisting and texting and calling. Have you deposited? You need to buy the supplies today so you can get it by Monday. And that day was Friday. So she wanted me to deposit and purchase the goods. So they would just take the money, because they are the one that are the supplies. So they would take the money and I would be in trouble. So I decided not to. And then I kept trying to reach the company until I was able to speak to original Veronica. And she confirmed to me that she was not the one that hired me. So I called the lady back. She was not picking from Google Meet. And I texted her. I said, why? When we had an interview, I told you that I'm a mom, that I'm raising a little child. that I just needed something, you know. I'm feeling even emotional about this right now, but I was like, I texted her, I was like, why would you want to put me in such trouble? Why would you want me to go through with this while you know you are fake? And from that moment, she just blocked me. That is when I knew that I had made a good choice not to deposit that check, guys. Like after everything went pale, the check looked legit. Like they actually printed a legit check. I cried that night. There's just thinking a lot that had it been I deposited that money, the bank will come for me, and what would I say? Okay guys, so fast forward coming to migrating to Canada. By the time I got here, I mean, before we even got here, I have already had so much energy in me, because my husband told me that, do you know that Toronto is one of the easiest, fastest place to register for a business? And I was like, yes, because that is what I want to do. That is my dream. That is my reality. So since when I was a student, my dream was to open a restaurant. I have always wanted to open a restaurant. And when I started my food catering in Atlanta, Georgia, I have always wanted to do like a food something, a restaurant, a takeout, fast food something. But coming to Toronto, coming to Canada, I had that opportunity, you know. It's like you are home. It's like you are home, because that is what I felt. So coming in here, the moment I got here, I was pregnant with my second daughter. The moment I had my second daughter, I think she was about 4 months when I started my food catering here. I will never forget. I called one of my friend, a lady that I met here. She's also from Nigeria, from Ariwa. Her name is Khadija. I called her and I was like, you know, I want to start my food business and I want you to help me advertise, because you're the person that has been here long and know people. Please just send out my flyers, tell people I make Ray, that is suya, I make masa, I do all sort of catering for event, for anything, and that is the beginning of everything. And then after doing all these things, then I have seen that, okay, instead of you know, opening a restaurant and I had to wait for customers to come and this and that, it was just a really big thing for me. And this idea of making the kilishi came to me. I started doing it gradually to where I am right now, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for everything, for the journey, for almost everything, because just the transition is something else, you know. Now you live your life, you schedule, you make your own schedules, you go out when you want to go out. You even have the opportunity to hire other people to work for you. You know, you're even creating job opportunity for other people, because even the retailers that are selling my product, I'm also, you know, providing them an opportunity to make profit out of what I'm giving them, because I have to give them at wholesale price and they sell it at retail price, so they make profit out of that. So I'm very, very excited. These are just my little experiences. I don't know if any of you have been through this. I know that even if you are not living in abroad or in a foreign land where you don't have your family to give out to your children, I'm sure even if you are home, you still at some point going to school or going to work, if you are a parent, have to let go of your children. I'm so happy where I am right now, even though I still have to sometimes take them out to babysitting, but I was able to find a lady who does babysitting for me in my own comfort house. So my children are in their home and she just watch over them and make sure they eat and they are secured and they are not climbing places that are dangerous for them. So alhamdulillah, and thank you so much guys for joining me on this journey, on this video. I'm super duper excited about this as well. So my next video, I'm going to show you how my life, or what my life look like as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. So I'm sure you have seen a little bit glimpses of it in some of my vlogs, but I'm going to show you in details what it looks like. So thank you so much guys for joining me today. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. and give us a thumb up if you enjoyed this little story and chit chat of mine. So let me see you in my next video. I can't wait to see you. Bye.